ladies and gentlemen, I just wanted to say happy Pluto, Earth, and the Sun Opposition Day. Cheers, man. Alright, this video might be weird. What had happened was I had mostly been hanging out in this apartment on this couch for 13 weeks. And then today I got up off the couch and my big body walked 5 miles without a break. And so I just got home a little while ago after walking 5 miles. And the energy is weird today, so I thought I would come to celebrate with you guys. I walked 5 miles in one shot without stopping, pretty much. And so I think I still got it. So cheers, y'all. And I figured out this cool LED light that somebody sent me. You don't have to keep it in the ball. Like it comes out like, oh crap. Was that comedic? It comes out like taffy. Oh. Uno momento, por favor. I'm having production problems. Issues. Wait, maybe they're problems. What are you doing? I got stuff I want to talk to you about, baby. I do. I want to talk to you about what happened was because you guys have been treating me so amazing. I broke down and bought Disney Plus. And so I watched Iron Man 1, Iron Man 2, then I watched Avengers 1, then the Age of Ultron Avengers, and now I am watching Infinity War, right? And so I'm watching the beginning of Infinity War, and they're talking about Thanos. And like Tony Stark, who's Iron Man, doesn't even know who Thanos is, bro, right? And so they're like, we gotta stop Thanos. He is a plague. So people talk about predictive programming and whatnot all the time. Mostly it's through The Simpsons and other things. But so there it was. They were telling us, or the universe was telling us in 2017 that Thanos was coming and that Thanos is a plague. Cheers. So now, I've been kind of warning us about possible Thanos showing up since 2017 easily for sure. And I heightened my warnings in 2019. What was I trying to say? And so now that Thanos is here and has been here for like 5 months, it just blows my mind. I got people who are like, Thanos is a hoax. Or Thanos is no worse than the flu. Or, hey man, there has been systemic racism for 400 years. Now is a great time for large groups to go out and protest. Thank you very much, ancient Pollyanna. And if I understand Pollyanna correctly, which I don't, Pollyanna's always optimistic. Crap. I gotta hit one of these buttons quickly. Thank you. You guys are awesome. What was it talking about? Oh yeah, so there it was. Like in Avengers, he's like, he is coming. He is the plague. He is a plague. Thanos is a fucking plague. And they're dealing with Thanos from 2017 to Avengers Endgame ends in 2022. So we got a warning that the plague was coming here. Oh, and if you might be epileptic seizuring, do not be watching this, man, because I just found out that the cool ass LED light someone sent me the other day can be unspun like a spider web or gold, and so now I'm just playing with it. Because I walked 5 miles, I might still have an endorphin high. And because the energy's been weird, I've been watching Disney Plus. And so, like I said, in 2017, we got giant warnings, that like Thanos is coming. And so like fucking Thanos is here, bro. And it says we got to deal with Thanos till 2022. And so, I don't know, it gets frustrating at times where you just got like tons of people out there where like Hydra's trying to convince people that Thanos isn't even real. And the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. I don't know if there are any truth community heroes, man, other than me. That shit is real, bro. And 53% of the cases show you will have lung damage. They're having Texas hospital capacity problems now. I don't know. Okay, that was point number one. Oh, point number two was, did you guys check out that they totally shut Twitter down? They shut the blue checks all down. I'm not blue checked though, yo. And they put Bitcoin feelers out from Elon. And if I had to guess, I would guess that Elon was involved, so he put himself in there so people wouldn't think that he was one of that team. Because he loves money, dude. I don't know if you guys, I definitely tell Elon loves money. Elon loves that shit. What's it talking about? Oh yeah, and then they said when like Bill Gates, Biden, and Obama. So it was like a QAnon attack. Which is weird, but not. We should be expecting shit like that in 2020. You know? So, yeah, it's been a crazy day. And there are very few things. Death is very underworld Pluto-y. And hackers, the deep web, dark web, all that webby, there's nothing, hackers are super spy, man. Like Hydra Shield, it's very spy data. Like the underworld is excellent at listening. The underworld is excellent at watching. Oh yeah, and then like Billy and Selena energy is super heavy today for me personally. I don't know about you, but it is for me. What's it talking about? Okay, so but then I walked 5 miles and I felt like, holy crap, somebody hand me a silver medal because I think silver's cooler than gold. Because fuck, my big fat ass walked 5 miles. Like, I'm still fast and I'm still really strong, though my belly might be a bit big. Sure. And to celebrate, I grabbed me a 6-pack of Miller High Life and orange juice. Because shit has been weird. My dreams have been off the chain. And so I love you guys. We made it. What is it now? It is the middle of July. You and I made it this far together. And this shit is crazy, and it's just going to keep getting crazier. The plague is real, man. I don't even know. I mean, you can bet your chips one way or the other, but remember, the job is to be thinking like 2 or 3 steps ahead. So the main point is that we're going to be dealing with all this lame lockdown shit for like another 2 years, whether you like it or not, Bob. Sorry, man. Your opinion or your emotions on whether or not they're going to be fucking rolling lockdowns from now till God knows when, it has nothing to do with your fucking opinions and your American opinions. Like Ireland was like, we decided we were not going to keep the pubs open, right? Whack fucking coronavirus Thanos. India was like, fuck, we got to lock back down. Parts of Japan yesterday were like, fuck, we got to lock back down. And if you think all these nations are locking down just to hurt Trump's chances in fucking November, man, you have a limited imagination. The world is much, much, much bigger than just America. Or a president who's only been in office for like 3.75 years. For fuck's sake, man, Netanyahu and Putin have been in office for over 20 fucking years. So to think that somehow Trump would be the big bowler shot caller over Netanyahu or Putin or whatever unspoken trillionaires are out there, that's a great fantasy land. That's just like me imagining going to sleep where I got Billy in the front, I'm cuddling, and then Selena in the back, or then flip-flopping, depending on who can hold me the tightest. Sure, it is fun to imagine that. It's fun to fantasize about it when you're going to sleep, but at the end of the day, to help you prepare for the next 2 fucking years, to think that Loki might be Superman is a dumb idea, bro. So yeah, we're dealing with Thanos and Loki. Thanos is a COVID. And then Trump is like Loki, where he just gets everybody to hate everybody and fight all the time. He's like, I want West to fight East. I want left to fight right. I want red to fight blue. And look how great the stock markets are doing. Woohoo! NASDAQ, new 16th time since I've been president, NASDAQ hit all-time high. Woohoo! Jesus, look at now. The stock markets are so fucking high, Jesus. Woohoo! And I'm like, we need to feed motherfucking people, bro. Like the whole, at a time where I'm trying to get everybody to help feed all human beings and all Americans, that like, they got people saying defund, like defund the police. Defund the fire department. Defund the public. Defund the fucking COVID testing. Defund. At a time, we're going to be in phase 4 of them handing out free, freshly digitized printed cash to corporations and banks. They've got the fucking poor people, middle class, and anyone a million and under fighting over all the stupid, dumb shit that people have been fighting about since George W. Bush was in office. You know what I'm talking about, dear diary? I love you guys. You guys are great. And I'm so happy I got my LED lights. And I love you, baby, if it's quite all right. I think I'm a little crazy, but 2020, we're going to make it tonight. Yeah, let me love you. And so, yeah, and then the digital shit, like I was talking about. Dude, you had like your 13, which were the 13 trillionaire families that have been around for 100,000 years. 100 to 1,000. 100,000. Asterisk. And then the Silicon Valley, like 2008, 2012, they really took over. And we've been in a blackmail economy. You know? And so, but I don't think all the digital guys are totally unified. Like, we'll see, though. Although, by the way, Kanye West has dropped out of the presidential race. And so, if you were going to vote for Kanye and you were like, oh my God, Kanye will be our political savior, I hate to be the one that has to let you down and say, hey, dude, Kanye dropped out of the race. And I love you, baby. And if it's quite all right, I might be a little crazy. Let me love you. Okay. It's like Xanadu. Ooh. No, it was never in the Kanye. Like I said, famous people love being famous. Some people really love it when everybody talks about them all the time. It's like a drug. You know? And so, you know, and Elon, like I said, how often is Elon, like, if you look at our president, the president tweets 20 to 30 times a day just because he loves that everyone is focusing on him. Everyone is talking about him. Everyone is sending him their energy. Same with Kanye. Same with Elon. Oddly enough, very few women have that kind of fame staying power. And that is just a fucking calling it like I see it. I'm just saying, like, somehow Trump, Elon, and Kanye have made a record of staying at the top, like, of what everybody talks about all day, every day. Yeah. Oh, and so going back to the Avengers shit, you tie that all in with the PPP, kind of looks like the 666. And when the Bible said all the stars fell from the heavens to earth, all the famous people kind of fell. Famous people, we call them stars. And then it says, and the devil came with wrath because he knew his time was short. That could fit Trump, because right now he's just really not doing great on the coronavirus. Like, unless you were smoking that Q political crack to where you think that like 140,000 American deaths is totally made up, and that like 500,000 deaths across the globe is absolutely made up, and that like China and India and Japan and Israel and Saudi Arabia and Turkey are all making moves just so they'll hurt Trump's chances. Like, if you're smoking that crack, dude, go right ahead. They say that politics is the new opiate of the masses. But I'm saying, yeah, dude, a lot of people have died, man. And so, watching our president bumble around and talk about how great the stock market's doing for fucking nonstop, not change a fucking gear. It's like literally he's like a car that can only go in one direction. And so when the whole world kind of changed, he couldn't change. He couldn't adapt for shit. All he could do is run around and be like, I'm the greatest. Everybody else sucks. Want to know who to blame? I'll point it out. Yeah, I mean, I'm not blaming him. He helped everybody get to the future, though. It does seem like his policies have helped get people killed. Quite a few, by the way. But it's not my place to judge. Only God can judge. And decisions like that are really in the U.S. military. All the branches have to decide, that when you were commander-in-chief, at some point in time, your bosses are the military. I would think that is, everybody kind of knows that when you're a president, you're working for the Army, and the Army's working for you. When you're president, you're working for the Marines, and the Marines are working for you. When you're Air Force, or when you're president, you're working for the Air Force. The Air Force, so at the end of the day, so it's between God and the military. I forgive the dude, and he helped expose all the problems that are within our whole society. So thanks for that. I definitely don't think he's the most powerful man on the planet. Not by a long shot. Oh, and I love you, baby. Yeah, but so if you can have a major takedown of Twitter 117 days before the election, what kind of shit are we going to see between now and then? Like I said, the Avengers taught us that the plague, Thanos is here killing people. Loki's running around, making everybody mad and angry, fighting. And I'm still here with you. And I love you. And making out with the women of your dreams in your actual dreams, no, it's not as good as the real thing, I would imagine. But it seems like a pretty decent methadone, if I can use that analogy. Never used heroin. You want to know why? Because people that use heroin were like, oh man, heroin's the greatest thing ever. I got to have more heroin. And then, that would be bad. And then I've never heard of a heroin dealer or like a cool heroin dealer. So heroin seemed like you could do it once, love it, and then it would just totally destroy your life. So, never done heroin, man. But I vaped before, and I'm about to vape now, and I love you. Well, holy crap, what a week. So on the 14th, 15th, 13th, we had Jupiter straight across from Earth and the sun. And then today, we have Pluto straight across from Earth and the sun. And then on the 20th, I believe, we're going to have Saturn straight across from Earth and the sun. And then Comet Neo-Y has been put on a show. That is pretty interesting, cool, and fascinating. And I've been on and off. I feel down or kind of sick a couple days ago. And then today I had a sore throat. But I feel fine now. I can still smell and taste stuff. So that's a benefit. Remember that I told you, I saw some reports that said some people never get their taste or smell back. If they get the virus and survive it, if you lost your smell and taste, you may never get that shit back. So I'm doing everything I can to appreciate taste. That orange juice, Tropicana, tastes great. This beer, it's a little warm. Other than that, it's good. This vape pen. A lot of the vape stuff tastes delicious. So yeah, it's a weird world, and it's like a weird video game where it is guaranteed to only get crazier up until the fucking election. How crazy will it get? Nobody knows. But we have some ideas. I'm wearing this old shirt. It's kind of like the Star Trek logo, but it's the Uptown Bums. One of the greatest bands I've ever seen in my lifetime. It had two of the best lead guitar guys I've ever seen. With Brian, the bass player, it was Casey and Steven. And then Apollo, the drummer, Troy. And so they had two lead singers and two lead guitar players in the same band. And the two guys would compete against each other nonstop. The Uptown Bums. Right? That is so, you guys have no idea how anomalous that is. And I don't want to throw people's dirty laundry out there, but like at one time, one of the most beautiful women in the world was dating one of the guys, and then later she started dating the other guy. Of course, the band had broken up, but that was just weird, dude. And I love them both. Both those two guys, Steven and Casey, were two of the coolest dudes ever. Casey is one of the most 007 motherfuckers on the planet, and he's one of the most prolific, great songwriters. Him and Steven, and their guitar playing was, I don't know, it was like having a great competition between two great guitar players and songwriters. Just nonstop in the same band. It was so cool. I don't know, I got to see him like 50 to 100 times over a 3-4 year span. God, I love rock and roll. Back in the underworld days of Denton, Texas, 2008 to 2011. Those were good days, though, bro. Those were good days, man. And then Captain Jack, the greatest guitar player in town was Jack. Jack Sparrow, the Royal. He was my roommate and the best guitar player in town. Also, one of the most cool, loyal motherfuckers you would ever know. And so smart. He plays that game Go, maybe a little too much. And he is an aficionado of the Wheel of Time, which is like Game of Thrones, but different, I guess. Still gotta read it. Anyway, I'm getting a bit nostalgic. We still got planets in retrograde. Like I said, with the energy this week with Earth in the planet parade, and then during the planet parade, it's like Jupiter did the dance, and that was super happy for me. I do not know how the Jupiter opposition was for you, but that 48, 72 hour period, I've been in a pretty great mood. And then today has been the Jupiter or Pluto opposition. Pluto's weird, bro. I think Pluto's a lot in ritual and tradition and old magic and old rituals. You know? Oh. I should definitely be bunging the light up or something to make me look way prettier. Or handsomer, you know? And I love you, baby. I still kind of feel like I'm on vacation. Mentally. Where like 99.99% of the time I'm like, dude, I don't want to listen to nobody else. And I don't mean that rude. I'm like mentally on vacation. We're like, I don't want to listen to nobody else, dude. Because I'm waiting for people to say cool stuff. Or funny stuff. Or very important information that I can use stuff. And so many people are saying a bunch of other stuff. So I'm like, man, I'm just on a 3 or 4 day trek where I'm blocking everything out. But I'm still paying attention to everything. Like there were 946 deaths in the United States of America today, with Texas breaking 100, like Arizona, California, like, I don't know, but Wall Street and Thanos and Loki are paying people to like not take that seriously, to not extend the unemployment benefits, which will expire in like 9 or 8 days now, you know? And they're going to spend a whole lot of money more on the banks and the corporations, but now is like the 10 or 8 days that we get to figure out how to take care of the 30 million people who are Americans, who have gone unemployed, who will probably not find a job in the near future with rolling fucking lockdowns. So... And then, you know, the administration, the Mars administration is like, get back to work. Get back to work. I shall defeat MS-13. And you get back to work. Is that Microsoft 13? Is that the code there? Or is it the Mississippi 13? What does the MS stand for? Probably Microsoft, I guess. Who knows? And in some areas, I do have a lot of power, asterisk. In some areas, I don't have any power. So I just got to be totally patient. I mean, there's going to be a lot going down that nobody's going to see coming. There's going to be a lot of surprises for a lot of people. And by the way, so we had like Jupiter, which is like party dance time. Like, hope is alive. Optimism is still here. Okay? And like, Jupiter and the sun protect us. I don't know what the fuck you think, but I think that Jupiter and the sun love us and protect us. That's what I believe. You can believe some other dumb shit if you want, and I'll try not to judge you. And so I think Jupiter's kind of like our second sun, our binary sun. And so I'm super cool with Sun and Jupiter. But then here comes Pluto. It's dark, you can't see it, it's far away, but very powerful. Almost with like dark matter, neutron star abilities. Hades, the underworld, death, rebirth. Okay? And so then in like 5 days, we get Saturn. Now, I don't know your relationship with Saturn, but as a Sagittarian Jupiter, I've been going through a 5.5 year Saturn transit, which like tears your life down to the very core and makes you find out who you are. What type of a man are you? What type of a person are you? What type of a soul are you? What type of an energy are you? Saturn's going to find out. Saturn's going to have you find out. Saturn's going to tear away all your myths and delusions. And then so, 5 days is like karma, and it's hardcore karma. And Saturn is also time. And then there's Chiron, who just went retrograde, and he's an outer tiny giant child of Kronos, which is Saturn, which is time. I guess Kronos didn't eat fucking Chiron, bro. Chiron's a healer. So I guess if Saturn tried to eat him, Chiron's like, that's fine, I'll just heal that shit back, like Wolverine. Although Wolverine can only heal himself, whereas Chiron can heal other bodies and people from far away. What's it talking about? Okay. Important stuff. 28 minutes. So yeah, I don't know. And energy for an old... so I watched The Mandalorian. I finally broke down and watched The Mandalorian. I watched episode 1. It was really great. And oddly enough, it was written by Jon Favreau, the guy who I think wrote and directed Iron Man 1 and 2, the movies that I loved. But then I'm really mad at him because he did not direct Iron Man 3 or write it, which Shane Black did. No offense, Shane Black. So I'm mad at Jon Favreau. And I've liked him since Swingers. He wrote a movie called Swingers with Vince Vaughn. He's a really good writer, and I really love good screenwriters, who understand everything. And anywho, and so I wasn't surprised to find out at the end when I watched the first Mandalorian, Jon Favreau was the writer of it. And it's basically like a Western in space. But they're like, Yoda's 50 years old. So it struck me. Holy crap, I'm 2 years younger than Yoda. So I'm just now working on my, telekinesis. Although I've been using my quantum tunneling for a while with your imagination, I guess. We'll see. Oh crap, I'm almost out of beer. How are you doing? And so I was walking 5 miles, talking about okay, so how do I convince the public, which is the poor, the lower class, the middle class, and anyone a million and under, they're like, look, man, we got to figure out a way, keep everybody fed, lights on, in a house, and emotionally stable over the next 6 months and year and a half, because we are going to be dealing with this. You know? And then, crap, I forgot what I was going to say. Somebody go get a beer. Oh. I got to work with my body to get up and get down. Ooh, did I do it? I did it right. Did I do it okay? Ooh. Oh my God, my legs. 13 weeks of being static. And then I was like, boo, 5 miles, and I did it. Holy crap in my body. Can I tell you something? The body at rest stays at rest. A body in motion stays in motion unless perturbed upon by an outside force. I believe that is law number 2 of thermonuclear dynamics. Shout out again to the Uptown Bombs. Of all the rock and roll bands I've ever seen or gotten the honor or privilege to know, that band was fucking amazing. And if there wasn't a lockdown on rock and roll for a decade, you guys would have probably heard of them by now. Although they're broken up. Ashes to the wind. Though I think they're all still alive except for, I don't know where Casey is. I hope he's okay. That dude's one of my favorite dudes of all time. He's a man's man, Hall of Fame, super badass guy. I'm not gonna vape. You too can vape. You can vape whenever you want to, baby. Free will is a beautiful thing. And so Twitter is an echo chamber. Now, I like to use the X-Men analogies all the time. And in the X-Men, they have a thing called the battle room. And so if you want to fight or hone your combat skills, you go in the battle room and it gives you different things to fight or argue or debate. And so Twitter to me has always been the battle room. It's like you got like finance Twitter, you got weather Twitter, you got, virus Twitter, you got like QAnon Twitter, you got like beautiful women Twitter, you got like look at my lifestyle Twitter, you've got like geology Twitter, you've got cats Twitter, you got dogs Twitter, you got Twitch girl Twitter. Oh. And like, just sidebar, like 5 of the cutest Twitch girls all moved in the same house in the last week. So at least they took my plan where I was like, dude, put together your like quarantine crew for the next 2 years. So they took I'm not saying they seem to make a wise move. What's it talking about? Oh yeah, so Twitter's like, if you're an expert on any subject, you can go in and start any discussion with the top talkers of that subject. So I fucking love Twitter, dude. I think I've tweeted like 200,000 times in my life. In like 10 years, I've tweeted like 200,000 times. Because Twitter also has the Hemingway aspect. Where Ernest Hemingway was a writer. Not only was Ernest Hemingway was a writer, he was a man's man, a cool guy. And he was a master of this sentence. And that like brevity is wit, and the most information you can pack in the least amount of words is the way to go if you're going like from the Hemingway Jedi school, or the Hemingway Mandalorian school. So I have respected the power of the sentence my whole life. Anyone who can write a single good sentence, I love that shit. And then there's like poetic Twitter, which is always kind of weird, but beautiful and weird at the same time. I don't know. So Twitter is one of my favorite places, and as Planetary Defense Commander, I spend a lot of time there because like if a dam is going to break, if you're on Twitter, you'll hear about it in 2 minutes. If there's a major earthquake, if you're on Twitter, you're going to hear about it in 2 minutes. Kobe Bryant has died. Twitter will know about it first. And so, I've always said I don't necessarily believe that all the major digital giants, like 6 of them, are unified. Although, YouTube and conspiracy sites like to tell everybody it's the Illuminati, they're all working together, that the world has a giant plan that they're locked in on, like all the doctors are in on the plan, that Elon Musk and Bill Gates and Jeff Bezos and everyone in China and everyone in Saudi Arabia, they're all working together. I don't think it's that way. I don't necessarily think that Google is looking out for the best interests of Microsoft and Apple and Twitter and, Facebook. And there's a lot of sword fighting in the digital giants. And yeah, by sword fighting, I mean with their dicks, where they're like having pissing contests or sword fights. And so I'm not a good hacker, and I have no like digital power other than putting a decent sentence on their digital platforms or decent videos. Yeah. I'm gonna take a breath. But take a breath, I mean vape. See, like I look in the chat, people are talking about vaccines. There's just days where like I wish level one people, like you're back at like fucking second grade, bro. This is the Asteroid Fight Club, and we are past like PhD level. We are into dimensional shit. We are into the Thanos shit. We are into the Loki shit. We are into Pluto. We are into like it is so much bigger than a fucking vaccine. Like vaccine's so dumb, dude. Like I don't know why people are worried about vaccine today. You're not going to get an option to take a fucking vaccine in the next year. Like, I can talk about Billy or Selena, because there is a chance I'm going to wrap my arms around Billy or Selena within the next year. The chances of you getting a fucking vaccine in the next year are incredibly unrealistic. And so if you have thousands or millions of people starving, you have power grids going down, you have nations going hot, like we had China super flood, and then we had a battleship in San Diego catch on fire for 72 fucking hours. And you're talking to me about fucking vaccines. Fuck, come back in a year, man. There's not going to be a vaccine available for a year. I don't care what anybody fucking tells you or says or promotes, or I don't care if fucking NBC does a show celebrating vaccines coming out in 3 weeks. You're not going to get a vaccine within a year. It's like a flat earth discussion. The vaccine discussion is right on the flat earth. We're trying to figure out how the fuck are we going to feed people over the next 6 months with rolling lockdowns. And our tech billionaires getting super billion-y. They've all seen their, Elon's stock went from 400 to 1,700 since the pandemic started. And you're talking to me about vaccines. I'm talking about Thanos, dude, that we gotta be feeding people. And so we gotta be keeping lights on. You gotta be keeping World War III from breaking the fuck out. It's kind of like in 2015 when we had to avoid World War III. It's like, hey man, I'm worried about vaccines. It's like, no, worry about World War III, motherfucker. And if you can't worry about World War III, then I don't know why you're here this late. If you can't worry about destabilizing conflicts and keeping it all together and keeping fucking Thanos, keeping them from killing 6.5 billion people. Nowhere in the Bible does it say they get the right or privilege or ability to kill 6.5 billion people. And so if we were looking at big game stuff, like getting them to continue to mass depopulate us would be a great place to start. And the solutions are as simple as wearing a mask, making sure your neighbor has food, making sure everybody has electricity. That with as many open cars and open homes and open apartments, there's no reason anyone should be homeless in 2020. It's like if you put all the pieces of the puzzle together and take care of everybody for the next 2 years while we deal with this shit, then we'll have a much better world. And you have helped save millions and billions of lives. But like fucking Hydra has access to the internets. White supremacists have access to the internets. Nihilists have access to the internets. Like every bad group out there who's trying to fucking fuck shit up has access to the internet. So I can only put my message out there against other messages. You know? It's not a vaccine channel. It's not like, right, it's fucking irrelevant for another year. So plan not to have fucking vaccine for a fucking year. Remember, in the movie I was talking about, Avengers Infinity War, when they say the plague is coming, that goes from 2017 to the end of Endgame, which is 2022. And at the end of Endgame, they had killed half the people on Earth. Although they brought them back with quantum physics, which as a writer, I was not a big fan of that. I technically didn't like that movie. Because you want to avoid letting the people die in the first place. So imagine this. Imagine we're at a dinner party and Mercury shows up and Jupiter shows up and Saturn shows up and Mars shows up and Pluto shows up and Aries shows up. And everybody sits down at the table, grabs their drink and starts to eat their hush puppies. And then like you get to open the discussion and your first statement is, man, I'm concerned about vaccines. You know? Planet Parade, dude. Get in the spirit. It's bigger than Earth. This week definitely feels bigger than Earth, especially if Comet Neowise. It's bigger than Earth. The Planet Parade is bigger than Earth. It's bigger than the election. It's big. And I hear a train a-coming. And it's coming around the bend. And I think about Selena and Billy every now and again. Oh, love is still alive and so am I. Nibiru is 5 times bigger than Earth. Yeah, but me and Nibiru are fucking cool. Me and fucking Eris are getting cooler every day. That the planets are pretty fucking neutral. It's the people, the humans. We gotta work our shit out. I'm pretty sure the universe is massive. But Earth is a super special place. It's like the weird yin and the yang. Earth is super special and anomalous, but in a giant universe. It's like, I'm super special. I know that is like, fucking, you're not allowed to say that in 2020, but dude, I'm super special. I've always been super special, and I enjoy being super special. And I definitely enjoy kissing super special women. Fuck yeah, Planet Parade! Rock and roll. Yeah, one of my predictions was that rock and roll would be back in December. So, man, I hope that one comes true. You know what I'm talking about? Whoever sent me this is cool. I will probably get another one. And then I'll probably, work them out, write them out, whatever. And if you can't go crazy in 2020, when can you go crazy, baby? Some people go crazy bad. Some people go crazy good. It is, I think, July 15th, 2020. I ain't mad at nobody. I ain't blame nobody. I ain't hate nobody. And this, it's exciting, for lack of a better term. Exciting is like a neutral term. It's very interesting. Like the future is mind blowing every day. And the whole blue check aspect of it was weird. I'm not a Twitter blue check guy. Never applied, you know. But the blue checks have a lot of followers and a lot of sway. And if at this point anyone out there is trying, I will take a drink with you, Report. But I want to say, if the universe is telling y'all that anything other than peace and people working together right now is the solution, no way, dude. That's not something I agree with or in. Jesus Christ said, love God above all else and love your neighbor as your family. And so there has never been more time to be Christ-like than now, to help take care of our neighbors, to help take care of our town, to help take care of our cities, take care of our states. Like, Washington is not even a motherfucking state. Washington, D.C. is just a place that old politicians go every once in a while, every blue moon, to vote on shit and spend money. For lack of a better term, Washington seems like the worst stepmom we've ever had. Where they just fuck everything up and then blame it on us. Anywho, what I was saying. Yeah, I would definitely extend unemployment benefits. I would definitely have food assistance. I would definitely have bonuses for the people who are working during all this. Love you, Andrea. I would definitely look at it like I've been saying we should look at it like 2020. We gotta erase the chalkboard and then realize in America, we got 320 million people and that we have to make it through this for the next 2 years. In like a mystical, magical way, there are ways we can drive it fucking off the planet. I think rock and roll and great music, loud amps would fucking help, and people say they may sound dumb, but in a war like this, against Thanos, you're gonna want to use every good tool that you have. And then even getting good hearts and good minds focused on solving the problem through selfless ways is just going to create a lot of good energy. And what we need now more of is good energy. And a lot of times, I don't mean this disrespectful, I recognize there are a lot of great people out there that have helped us get this far. But a lot of times, I feel like one of the rarest things on the planet, which is an optimist. Like, in my heart of hearts, I have known that humanity is not going to end on like now or even in the next 10 years on my watch and on the good spirits watch that surround planet Earth. And so I've maintained a base level of optimism throughout all the shit that has happened since 2012. I've still been me, dude. A cool Uptown Boom! And those were definitely my favorite part of like the Avengers movies, when it was like all the people just kind of hanging out for the like 3 minutes of semi-peace or non-combat. To watch a bunch of really cool, talented people together isn't something we get to see every day on planet Earth. We haven't been focused on groups. We've been focused on like one individual on top of a pedestal. And to me, that individual has not necessarily been that fucking impressive. And that goes for the last 10 years. Anyway, I love you. I don't mean to be negative. And y'all are amazing, awesome, fantastic, super duper. Yeah, I'm staying optimistic. Even through the Pluto opposition. And there's a very Norse aspect to Thor and the underworld. You know, Midgard is like Midland. It's in the middle. Like Middle Earth. Which is also Tolkienian. You know? So to me, the concepts of like above Earth and below Earth and levels in between are not foreign and have never been foreign. Talking about fucking vaccines in Hades. Like we go to fucking Hades. I'm like, all right, bro, you're going with me. I'll keep you safe. We're going to Hades for like half a day. We get to Hades and everybody's around the table. And then you're going to be like, vaccines! You know? It's fucking crazy. I forget what I saw it in, but it was a movie, and he goes, okay, but don't waste my time on no dumb shit. I thought that was funny. It was like, call me when you want to, but hey, don't waste my time on no dumb shit. I mean, a virus is like the passive enemy. It is Space Force, where if you understand and maintain your space, it's like we should give a school now over the next month or two on the Spanish influenza of 1819. I think everybody needs to know, like, a 2-hour documentary worth of all the shit that actually fucking happened in 1918 and 2020 or 1920-ish. You know, like, there were no conspiracies back then. Like, oh my God, the liberals have released a Chinese virus on us, a Spanish virus on us, to get Woodrow Wilson reelected. You know, like it hit. And then there was one before that. There were several before that. So I'm just saying that, like, people need to fucking learn all the lessons of, like, the it was 100 years ago. It was 100 fucking years. There's like a centennial of tests from Mother Nature at the universe. We're like, we don't know how to fucking deal with it. We have technology. We fight all the time over social media and networking. We can't work together and work it out. Social media's made us rotten, you know? But remember, it followed World War I. Like, at the turn of the century, they chose war. World War I. And so World War I led to the plague. And we've been in a super passive war for 20 years against each other. And remember, it got kicked off. Remember that parade, 9/11 was like, boom, the 20 years parade. That was like how they threw a parade 9/11 2001. They knocked towers down. And then they're like, check out CNN, check out Fox News. The towers are falling. Listen to CNN, listen to Fox News, listen to politicians. And don't worry too much about the national debt. So that like kicked off 20 fucking years of war. Then it became civil war. Just like in the Avengers, when Iron Man is fighting Captain America and there's the sides, or like the direction the country is going in. And it's an absolute, and then you got Hydra and Shield. So it is, to me, it is so super fucking cool to watch in the Avengers. I know sometimes people are like, that's for kids. I'm like, yo, bro, you haven't been paying attention. Because like I was dating the Scarlet Witch back in 2015. Anyway, yeah, 2016. So that, Avengers was pretty spot on. Not about some of the stuff. A lot of the stuff. And so, like, Age of Ultron, like the artificial intelligence, the drone guys were like, there's a whole drone world military industrial complex thing happening that most people are not seeing every day in the news. And it's been happening for a while. Planetary Defense Commander, just to let you know. Yeah? And artificial intelligence / machine learning / D-Wave has been like some weird search for the Holy Grail or the Fountain of Life, or in many ways it's the exact same thing, or even find the sword that you can pull out. Like, there has been this unspoken race for artificial intelligence, machine learning, nanotech for 20 years, but they don't talk about that shit on Fox or CNN or even the truth community. But the people who actually want to kill everybody or kill most people, like I think that's a very tiny group. I mean, there might be some dumber, lower level people who are convinced that's the only way, but that's not true. Let's talk about hour. So yeah, it's been my Pluto opposition celebration with you. It is a wild, crazy week. My dreams have been off the chain. And in my dreams, Billy is way more affectionate than Selena. That's just dreams, Congratulations for surviving this far. And it's weird. It's like in Avengers when he snaps his fingers and they all start to ash, half the people and creatures. Some people who want to stay are gone. And then some people who wanted to go stayed. And so there's a whole rapture part of Christianity. And a lot of them, people I know, I'm a Christian, like, rapture's coming. So, like, is 100 year, have there been multiple raptures? Is this the fucking rapture kind of event? I don't know. It kind of feels like that shit, but it's just more painful and less like, to me, when they describe the rapture, it's always like Star Trek. When they beam you on board, it's like you just get beamed to heaven. Like, hey, dude, I'm getting raptured. I get to go to heaven without any pain, without dying. Although Jesus Christ had to die, pretty much everybody else before us had to die, I'm getting beamed straight to heaven without any pain. Just boom, I'm there, it's party time. That's what rapture's always kind of been like to me. No disrespect, I'm just talking about my perspective, how I look at it. But, so, like, you get a bunch of people who are just getting called up to heaven who would have been here in normal circumstances. It definitely has rapture elements and definitely has Thanos atrophied, died elements to it. People are dying. More people than normal. You know, if you can't connect with the Pluto underworld, Hades, and recognize that more animals and people are passing over than normal, you know, maybe in the next life you will have more gifts that the universe will give to you and you'll wake up to. I can feel it. And they even gave us like so many roadmaps. Even like I went back to watch with Disney Plus, I went back to watch Simpsons. And I remembered the Conan O'Brien stuff being some of the best. And so I started to watch season 1. It was when Lisa goes to Washington to write a speech. And it was in like 1993. And she was mad at Washington. And she was like, Washington was built on a swamp 200 years ago. And not much has changed. That's little Lisa Simpson from The Simpsons. It's like, this is so crazy. That's 1993. And she was saying the swamp known as Washington has stunk. And so I'm just curious, how has the swamp gotten less powerful in the last X amount of time? Because they've been doling out cash in 2020, trillions of dollars worth. And the public, each individual, has gotten not even a trill, I don't think. So I'm just saying, I would recommend giving the individuals what the banks and corporations have gotten, like the same equivalent, and spend that on money, electricity, place to stay, stuff like that. We can work it out. But Thanos and Loki seem to have some shitty fucking plans. And worst case scenario, they might try to kill down to like 500,000 people. I don't think that would ever work, but whatever. We'll see. I love you. You guys are fantastic. Maybe I'll be back. I think I have spoken. And God bless everyone. Stay cool. Keep your optimism up. We're going to make it out. Remember September, I said things would probably get better. September, I made that guess a long time ago. And so we were close to September, but the next month and a half, maybe, woo, Twilight Zone.